Hello, I'm Joe Galvin, Chief Research Officer for Vistage Worldwide. Welcome to the Vistage Coaching Spotlight, a video series dedicated to exploring the challenges and opportunities facing CEOs and leaders around the globe. In each episode, we'll be speaking with some of the world's best and brightest executive coaches, seasoned mentors who are on the daily leadership climb with business leaders every day, guiding them to make better decisions and become even more effective leaders. Today, it's our privilege to be speaking with Vistage Chair Brenda Lawrence about the challenges faced by small and mid-sized business CEOs today, and more importantly, what they are doing in response. Brenda chairs a Vistage CEO group in the Washington, D.C., Maryland area, working directly with over a dozen CEOs. She has a 20-plus year career with broad background as a corporate leader. She's a former CEO in the technology and management consulting industry, and she's helped entrepreneurs, including nonprofit and government. For the past 13 years, she's served as executive coach to top performing leaders. Welcome, Brenda. It's a pleasure to have you with us on the CEO Coaching Spotlight.
Thank you, Joe. It's great to be here.
Well, Brenda, you've had a long and storied career, but tell us a little bit about your leadership climb, and more importantly, some of the most significant leadership learnings that you've experienced.
Sure, absolutely. That's a great start. My leadership climb really has been what I like to call a humbling experience. Why? Because I really started my career in the technology and health space, as you mentioned, but working daily in operations and really giving me an opportunity to grow and understand what needs to happen on the ground. So I was able to earn growth opportunities that ultimately advanced me into executive leadership with P&L responsibility. And like you mentioned, working with both commercial and public sector. So I had, been working with engaging senior leaders in Fortune 500 organizations, as well as small businesses to help them evolve through IT and leadership. So, for more than 20 years, I've had a full workout in all various roles, all of them important because they've really helped me to understand the complexities of business. I've leveraged all those wins, the losses, the past experiences, and the training to, start to build and successfully exit my technology business, as you mentioned, but not without, learning all of the nuances of working day to day, like completely taking on every role and having to learn how to trust people. So I've taken all that I've learned and I've decided that I'm going to work with other entrepreneurs to help them build their small and mid-sized businesses. And, I think my significant learning through all of this was really understanding through one of my mentors. He said to me, everything rises and falls on leadership. And that reminded me that your business, it will never grow or never outperform your ability to lead it. So no matter, what level of leadership you're in or where you are on your journey, unless you continue to work on your leadership capacity, your business will not grow. So for example, if you are a level 4 leader, your business will only grow to a level 4 business. When you grow to level 5 business, your business has the potential to grow as well to a level 5 business.
That's amazing. You work and engage with small and mid-sized business CEOs every day. What's top of
Mhm.
mind for them right now?
Wow. Well, so, the pandemic really brought a host of opportunities for CEOs. When you think about hiring and retention, inflation, supply chain obstacles, the great resignation. And then, we've been recently hearing a lot about the quiet quitting. And, of all of those, what is top of mind, and our CEOs are talking about on a daily basis, is creating a culture that will captivate new and existing talent. Not only, to get the talent in, but that same reason that got them there is the same reason that will keep them there.
The pandemic changed so many things, specifically this whole work from home phenomenon. You mentioned quiet
hmm
quitting. I think that's been around forever. It's just a little bit easier to do now when you're working from home. What do you see in CEOs are doing to address this new dynamic workplace?
They're hyper focused on listening to their employees, really looking at how it is that we can support them exactly where they are, coming together virtually to, make sure that they are building that culture, connecting with, listening to, and understanding exactly what's needed today.
Yeah,
So
you
they're
mentioned.
looking at, I'm
Go
sorry.
ahead. No, go ahead.
No, they're looking at, how is it that we keep the culture intact while we're also, as you mentioned, in a hybrid work environment.
Yeah, culture's become even more important than ever. So how do CEOs pull culture through when maybe people are in the office only once or twice a week?
Mhm. Yeah, and that's exactly what's happening. I have it's like a mix. We're talking about some CEOs never changed and they kept their employees working, post pandemic, and then some are hybrid, as you're mentioning. And what they're doing is they're really trying to live into the idea of planning culture, making sure that there's a plan in place where people can connect with when we say, being honest, being accountable, what does that look like? So they'll have their leadership teams literally check in with their people to say, how are you living into our culture and the mission that we are saying is important to us, and then why? And then they're also having their team members, which I absolutely love this. They're having their team members to call out, to shout out other team members who are living in and showing, here's the culture that we're saying is important to us, but they're doing all of the things that show action towards those culture identities.
So you mentioned the power of culture, but what do you think are the things beyond that that CEOs need to be focused on right now? We live in this dynamic, this volatile world, unlike what we've experienced from the prior decade. What do they need to be thinking about right now?
I would say, really being adaptive. We know that change is inevitable, is coming. And as I mentioned before, really listening in, leaning into what their employees are saying and what's important for them in terms of having a work-life balance. And again, captivating them so that they want to come to be a part of the culture. But then those who are hard workers, keeping them a part of the culture, making sure that they're focused on inclusivity, how it is that they are thinking about everybody's voice at the table, and just being an example of here's what we're saying is important to us, and here how we're taking the actions to show everyone this is important, and also to hold the team accountable.
Brenda, this has been incredibly insightful, and your experience, both as a CEO, but more importantly, the work you're doing with the CEOs today, really shines through. Are there any final thoughts you have? Any concepts you really want to share with the community that will listen to this as we wrap up?
Sure. Yeah. What I always say is important is, all the idea around communicating early and often. We've mentioned this already, but engaging the teams to help them want to be a part of the core, the values that we say we're living into, and that to ensure that they're buying into them and that they are really focused on living out, creating a culture that, their customers can experience, but more importantly, the team feels connected to so that they want to stay.
Well, it's said that brand is to customers as culture is to employees, and you've certainly captured the
Hmm.
essence of that. Brenda, thank you so much for your insights today. We really appreciate your
Hmm.
time. And thank you all for watching the Vistage Coaching Spotlight. If you enjoyed this talk, be sure to share it with colleagues who you think will find it valuable. For more information and guidance on the top issues you're facing as a leader, visit www.vistage.com. That's vistage.com. I'm Joe Galvin, Chief Research Officer for Vistage, and this has been the CEO Coaching Spotlight.